What's up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode. And we are here for round number 4 for the Russian Grand Prix in season 5. And if you guys did enjoy the last episode, then that was really thankful, because I thought it was a great race in Bahrain, and a good way to bounce back from a disappointing Chinese Grand Prix. And we got good momentum going into this race weekend here at Sochi, and straight away into Friday practice, and we scored a flawless 50 points. We scored 50 points on every program, and we got maximum possible points out of the entire Friday practice session. So a very good way to start off the weekend. However, a small disclaimer, for some reason my settings didn't save and I've still got one shot qualifying enabled, so I don't know why that's happened, but for some reason it saved that way. So I think I managed to fix it for the next episode, but for some reason in this particular one it just didn't save. So you guys are going to have to basically put up with one shot qualifying for one more race, and hopefully that should be fixed for the next one in Spain. But as you can see now, in one shot qualifying itself, wet conditions here for the intermediates, and very tricky ones, because it wasn't really soaking wet. It was sort of on a knife edge between wet and dry, and my car did not feel good around here in the wet. I've got to say, my setup was definitely perfectly tailored for the dry, as best as I could get it for this car. So the second I went into the wet conditions, the car just did not want to stick to the road. Like, it was skating about horribly, and there was severe understeer, and then that fed into severe oversteer. Like, there was just no medium in just grip or just car performance, and we really struggled to get our lap together. And as you can see, currently now through the middle sector, just really struggling to get the car into these corners and get the nose in, and really just taking it very, very slowly indeed. And then also here, the rear just not sticking at all, and so far it's a very poor lap, only 18th in the top left hand corner of the screen. So we've got a lot of work to do to try and pull this one back, and hopefully we can make some damage in the final sector, but we're really struggling in these conditions here, and it's going to be a real fight against the top 10. So let's try and push into this final sector now and see if we can gain some time as we brake hard after the back straight, go underneath the bridge, flick it left for the next left-hander, taking it oh so cautiously, because you can lose the back end so easily through here, and then through this off camber 90-degree left-hander, which feeds into a 90-degree right-hander, the third from last corner, and then basically now prepare yourself for the final 2 turns on the track. And we're going to go down a couple of gears for the penultimate corner, and then now the final one, you've got to really try and attack it without going wide on the exit here. And I missed my apex a little bit there and don't really attack as much as I want. And across the line, the question is, where did we finish? And I think it's going to be P14, so not great at all, really poor qualifying, and the car did not work at all in these wet conditions. So what I'm going to do is, straight after this, I'm actually going to purchase a new engine. I'm going to move to power unit, I'm going to buy power unit number 5, and then use power unit 2 for the race. So that's basically the plan to go into the race, because obviously it's nothing 40, so I'm not really going to do much damage, so I might as well just take engine penalties and go to the back of the grid, and hopefully have a better power unit situation for the rest of the season. So hopefully that works out for us, and we can have a good race tomorrow. So without further ado, let's jump straight into Sunday for round number 4 of the season for Sochi, for the Russian Grand Prix. Right, here we are then on the grid for the Russian Grand Prix. Last place after a disappointing qualifying, and I thought, you know what, just take an engine penalty, and you might as well take it, because we wasn't really in a good starting position anyway. And also for this race, what's interesting is we've also got free tyre choice, so taking full advantage of that, we are going to start on the super soft compound tyres, and then switch over to the ultra soft to hopefully have the better race strategy. Also having full engine power at my disposal, and now the race is actually going to be dry all the way through, so I've got more of a dry setup than the wet. That's why the car didn't really work in qualifying. So overall, I'm feeling much more positive about this Sunday race. But if we look at the race strategy on screen right now, as you can see, we've got a one-stop as you'd expect around this track, and we're going to switch over to the ultras. Like I said, dry conditions throughout, and we've overfueled by about 1.5 laps, so we've got a little bit of room there to use rich mix if we need to with this brand new power unit. So overall, we've got all the tools at our disposal, and I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, let's jump straight into round number 4 for the Russian Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. We're going to get ready to the 5 red lights for round 4 of the season. And it's lights out and away we go here at Russia. It's not a particularly great start, to be fair. Ericsson off to a flyer in the Sauber here, but here we go, racing down to turn 1. There could be contact here. There has been in the past, and there's been a huge accident in past times, but so far I'm struggling in a straight line here to actually keep up with these guys. But we're just going to put our car on the inside, take it very easily, make sure we keep our front wing in one piece, which is the most important thing. And so far we're off to a good start here. Falls down to the outside. Hamilton down to 13th. I can see there's a Hamilton having a poor start, or maybe he had a grid penalty as well, because he's pretty far down the order here as we go up the inside of Daniel Kvyat. I'm trying to get past a little bit of a corner cut there, warning for track extending, but we've got past the Russian, and now we're going up the inside of Carlos Sainz. Can we pull it off? We're still side by side with the Spaniard here, and he's actually got a bit more straight on speed than me, but I'm going to go up the inside of this next corner, taking the better racing line, squeeze him out, and we're up into 15th place. So far, good start. We're now behind Mr. Lewis Hamilton, so let's see how our pace is like on this tyre, and see how much damage we can do in this race. So far, it's been a very good opening lap. Alright, we've got Lewis and Magnussen going side by side here, so we might have a chance of picking up a no overtake here if we play our cards right. So I'm going to set myself up for the switchback manoeuvre. We've got a great exit out of that corner here. We're going to get side by side with Magnussen. He's on my inside though, so I've got to leave him the room. Can we go around the outside of the Dane here into the final corner? I'm going to try and turn in a little bit on him, try and run him out of room, and there we go. We've just squeezed past, and we're up into 14th place. I might come under pressure though on this straight due to a lack of straight line speed, because I'm running pretty high aero to compensate for the Williams' poor amount of chassis and aero. But into turn one, looks like we are going to come out on top here and survive, just about managing to turn in. And there we go. We've got a little bit of a train in front though. I can see someone's forming a bit of a slow pack, so we might have a chance of getting a few more places here. But so far, a very good opening lap to this Grand Prix. Okay, there's a huge battle between Verstappen and Grosjean going off here, so we might have a chance to make a few little sneaky overtakes. We've got to try and be ready for it though, and try and be very, very protective of our front wing. I was going to say there, I almost jinxed myself, but so far we're looking pretty good. Obviously tyre strategy is going to help us out, and the longer this train continues, the better for us. But you can see when these guys were in slipstream, the lack of straight line speed we have. I'm running 8 aero, so I'm surprised the straight line speed efficiency is that low. So that also might indicate that we might need to make an engine upgrade, because he might be falling behind a little bit. But meanwhile, Hamilton makes the move on Julian Palmer, and he's up in the 12th place. So it's about time I made a move on the Brit myself and got going in this race. So here we go. We're going to go up the inside of the Renault. A little slight bit of contact, but we're just going to sort of slice our way through, and there we go. So we're now going to go and get back up to the back of Hamilton here, and then also Massa, who's all over the back of Grosjean, who seems to be the one sort of forming this train, and there's another slow car up ahead starting to form another train. So right now, if we just keep in this pack, we're going to be looking very good this race. Hamilton and Massa going side by side here, and I'm just going to try and pick up the scraps. This is going to be very, very interesting here. These two former rivals, if you throw it back to 2011, these guys have no love lost for each other, and Lewis has made the move on my teammate, and I'm just going to try and get alongside Felipe here. I'm going to let him have the inside. I'm going to go around the outside. Can I put it off on my teammate? I'm going to let him have the inside here. I'm going to try and switch back underneath Felipe and just get a better exit and wait for the DRS. So here we go, run the slipstream of Massa. We're going to pull to the inside. I've got DRS now. He's going to squeeze me to the inside a little bit there. My teammate giving me very little room, but we are going to make it. Palmer now coming up to the back of me, looking pretty racy here into turn one. I'm going to try and shut him off and hold it around the outside, and there we go. Lovely stuff. Just holding on, and we're now up in the P12. Okay, Lewis has made the move on Romain Grosjean, the Frenchman, and now we're all over the back of him, and hopefully I can make the move to personal best in a row into the 1 minute 37s. Pace is good. I've managed to get away from Felipe Massa, and he's on the faster ultra softs. Meanwhile, Grosjean unfortunately does have DRS off of Hamilton here, so it might have to be a move on the brakes into turn one. Up the inside we go, squeeze him out, and there we go. Lovely stuff. Nicely does it, and we're now up into 11th place, and Hamilton is up the road and he's catching up to the Red Bulls here. I think we've got some good pace in this tyre. I think we can do something here today. Right, so we've got the first of our pit stops, and it's Valtteri Bottas. So he's on to another set of ultra softs, and he's going to be going at least on a 2-stop. So that's interesting. Fernando Alonso is up ahead. So I think for now the plan is going to be to push. I'm going to crank up to into rich mix, and try and push really hard now and try and make up some ground, because these are some critical laps now on these super soft tyres. Right, here we go, the DRS on Fernando Alonso. We are getting close now, and Bottas can't get past me because I've got too much straight line speed, weirdly enough. Since I've gone up to rich mix, he just can't seem to match me in the straights. I mean, he can match me, but he doesn't really have enough in the tank to get past me. That's what I'm trying to say. So we can look ahead of us and not behind us for a little while longer here, and try and look at getting past Fernando Alonso before Bottas gets past me, I think. Okay, this time I think Bottas is going to make the move. I think I've just noticed he's turned up to rich mix. I can notice a difference in his straight line speed, and there you go. He's made the move. I'm not going to fight him because I want to try and follow him, and he could probably lead me into making an overtake on Alonso. So it's probably better that I follow Valtteri, and hopefully he'll see me past Fernando. Or maybe not, because it's time for pit stops, I believe, and Alonso's coming in along with a flurry of cars into the pit lane. So things are going to get pretty busy in there. So hopefully we're getting a few places, and we're going to jump up to P6 for now. So that's pretty damn good for us. And Bottas is going to rejoin just behind, I think, a Ferrari from what I can see there. He's going to be pretty close, but he's going to be just behind it. So we've got a few more laps in these tyres, and we should be in very soon, hopefully for Ultra Softs. Okay, so I'm going to come in now at the end of this lap for Ultra Softs, my one and only stop of the race, and let's see where we rejoin. It's going to be interesting. And the question is, how much more damage can we do in this final stint on the purple tyres? We're going to be obviously dropping a few places now. I reckon around P9, maybe P8, but we'll have to wait and see. Bottas stays out for one more lap, so I don't think we'll be able to undercut him. He's about 10 seconds up the road, so I think he's out of the question now. So it's a question of now fighting with those around us and seeing what we can do. Hamilton there with the fastest lap. He's obviously out of sight now, but we're currently in P10. Looks like we're going to rejoin in P11 behind Fernando Alonso. So we've dropped a little bit further behind than what we were. So we've got work to do in this final stint. So let's try and put these tyres to good use. So I've got a little bit of rich mix saved up. So let's try and give this Williams Martini a good old little stretch of the legs around this track in the final laps we have left. Okay, we've got yellow flags just up ahead, and the 35.9 personal best also within Alonso's DRS here. So we're making good progress, and someone's out of the race, I think, just in front of us, and that means we can't actually make the move on Fernando just yet because of the yellow flag conditions. And it's Daniel Ricciardo out of the race. So Daniel Ricciardo out of the Russian Grand Prix as I pick up my second warning for track extending. But here we go, rich mix enabled. We're going to try and make a move on Fernando Alonso here. So here we go, up the inside of the Spaniard. I think Alonso just locked up a little bit there, and that's going to make the move very easy for me. And we're now up into P9, and we've got a couple of cars up the road here who we might be able to catch up, starting with Max Verstappen. So let's get the hammer down and give it everything we got. Right, still pushing hard here, mid 1 minute 35, and I'm catching Verstappen at a rate of knots, and there's about 3 or 4 cars in front of him, so there could be a chance I could get as high as P5 this race if I'm fast enough. So let's keep pushing here. Right, so visual representation on the map, you can see the 4 dots that I'm approaching here. The issue is I've now run out of rich mix, so the second I get into Max Verstappen's DRS, I'm going to go down to standard, and that's probably where I'm going to have to remain for the rest of the race. So we've got tyres left, so we should be okay, but the rich mix has run out, so we're going to have to find some pace from elsewhere. But I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a very hectic final few laps. Okay, here we go into the final corner. We've caught up to the back of Verstappen now, and we're catching up to Hülkenberg at the same time. So this could get very, very tasty very quickly. I think getting past anywhere past Hülkenberg, or anyone past the Hülkenberg point, is going to be pretty damn difficult. I think Verstappen and Hülkenberg are going to be the 2 that we can pass here today. So we've got to make these count. Okay, I'm pretty close to Verstappen this time. We've had a great run through the middle sector. Verstappen has some great traction out of that traction zone, to be fair, onto the back straight. I'm going to open up DRS. Am I going to get close enough? It might have to be a little bit of a dive here on the Dutchman. I want to go for it on the brakes, and we've got the tyres. That's not the question. It's whether I've got the straight line speed. Verstappen comes out very wide, but I'm going to go around the outside. I've just got loads of grip on these tyres compared to the AI. The AI is going to be struggling because this car feels actually pretty good. I'm really comfortable driving this car around this circuit. Like, I've got no issues with it, even though the pace isn't spectacular. Like, I feel good driving. Like, I don't feel like I'm driving a bad car. So that also helps for me in terms of just pushing and trying to find the limit of the pace. But anyway, we're up into 8th place. 2 laps to go. Let's see if we can try and get past Nico Hülkenberg. Right, here we go then for the final couple of corners, and unfortunately it wasn't to be. We couldn't catch Hülkenberg. I just ran out of pace right at the end, and to be fair, that last lap we struggled a bit. But either way, P8, good points to say we started last. That's a very good race in my opinion. Really actually enjoyed that one. The car felt really good, and on a good day, considering there was 2 cars on the same straight as me, it could have been P6. So I'm not too disappointed. I think with a bit more pace in the latter few laps on the super soft, which I really didn't have any. I didn't really have great laps on my final laps on the super softs. If I was just a bit better there, and also had a little bit more rich mix to use in that final stint, I reckon I could have got P6. But either way, I'm not disappointed. That was a very good race. Very, very much enjoyable. And Vettel back on top again. He's third race winner of the season. And who knows, maybe this might be the season where he finally challenges for the World Drivers' Championship. But either way, let's now move into the final race results, drivers and constructors standings after that very, very enjoyable race. Right, so looking at the final race results, Sebastian Vettel wins his third race of the season and the Sochi Autodrome Grand Prix, and he's actually the only man that dipped into 1 minute 34, so he dominated the race here today, and he beat his teammate Kimi Raikkonen, and Esteban Ocon rounds out the podium there for fourth in there. Very good result for the Frenchman ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who recovers from P13 on the grid, and Bottas, who finished only in P5 after starting in P4 this race. Disappointing one, the only man on a two-stop strategy there. Sergio Perez in P6 after starting in third place, also disappointing race for the Mexican there. And Nico Hulkenberg, myself, Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso all scored points in the lower half of the top 10, but overall, Fernando Alonso will be disappointed dropping one place from his starting position, as will Max Verstappen, and I think I'm the real winner here from last all the way up to P8, so good result for me here today. And then in terms of the DNF, Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz both retiring from today's race. But in terms of the driver standings after the race, as you can see, we jump down to P7 as Bottas overtakes me, and Massa stays put in P9. Sebastian Vettel leads the way by 10 points ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, and Lewis Hamilton not too far behind. But in terms of the constructors, you can see that we remain in fourth place, and that's about right, and that's about where we are right now. If not, Red Bull probably should be ahead of us. But we're now going to jump into the laptop and purchase yet another upgrade. Right, so we're going to purchase this minor downforce for the rear wing upgrade in the aero department. That should hopefully arrive for the Monaco Grand Prix. 2 weeks of development time, so we're going to purchase that, and hopefully that will arrive, like I said, in 2 weeks time. Also for the next race, we have got this front wing upgrade arriving, so an exciting time with two aero upgrades coming to the car. That should give us a nice little jump and hopefully boost us very close to McLaren and to the upper sides of the midfield. But other than that, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, and if you have, then please do leave a like on the video. Also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and also please be sure to check out these videos on screen right now. And finally, do check out GT Mega and the links down below, down in the description, and use the code TOM97 for 5% discount at checkout. Other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.